Hey family, what's up? Thank you for joining me. I just want to give you 5 areas that you can work on while being single. Things that you can do, prepare for in this stage and time of your life while you're dating, courting, pursuing relationships, and essentially marriage. So, what are those 5 areas? First, financial, your finances. That's one of the key areas that I think that we should give more attention to, especially singles. Preparing ourselves while you're single to be healthy financially, taking care of your finances, debt, maybe investments, so that when you find your person or the one, that you come into that relationship and that union as whole as you possibly can be. And finances play an important part. Matter of fact, many divorces and separations and breakups happen due to finances. Arguments over finances and money, mishandling of money and finances, one partner not bringing enough to the table financially. That's a big area and that's very important. And so for me, when I was dating my wife, and we got engaged, that was one of the areas that we honed in on and that we really sort of tightened up. We came up with a plan. And when we knew that we were going the long distance together and we knew that this was it, this is the one for each one of us, we came together and said, let's come up with a plan. Let's save our money. So we saved and I came up with a nice nest egg of savings. Also cleared all debt, paid off different credit cards and stuff like that, which wasn't much at the time, but still wanted to clear all debt so that we didn't have that on the table. And so financially, we were as whole and as healthy as we could be coming together, which made things a whole lot easier. I'll just be honest with you. So if you're single in this time of being single, make sure you tighten up on your finances, make sure you clean up any debt and things that you can help. Now, I know a lot of people have student loans if you're in the U.S. A lot of people have student loans and things of that nature, but control what you can control. Help what you can help. Credit cards and different things like that. Even vehicles. I know we need vehicles to get around, but maybe think about paying off your vehicle or, even buying a vehicle that is older and you pay cash for. That's what I did. That's what helped me out financially, is cutting down on having a lot of bills coming out of my pockets and my finances. And so I was able to cut down on that. And that helped me to be able to redirect a lot of my money to investing and growing my finances and putting me and my wife, who would eventually be my wife, in a much healthier place financially. So consider some of these things, while you're single, so that you can come to your relationship as whole as possible. Because think about this, wouldn't you want that for a partner as well? Wouldn't you want your partner to consider these things and to come as whole as possible? Granted, things happen, right? There are some things that we can avoid, some things that we can't help. And so, but we still have to be as prepared as we can be. If you're in school, and remember some of you when you were going through school and you had an exam or a paper due, life happens, right? But still that paper or exam was due. Now you can get an exemption or an extension of some sort, right, from the teacher or professor. But at the end of the day, if you wanted to pass the class, eventually you had to do the work. And so life is our professor. It is the ultimate professor. And so in spite of the obstacles and circumstances, come up with a plan. Prepare as best as you can to take care of your finances so that you bring something significant to the table. So that's the first one, financial. There's all kind of classes, courses out there. There's also other stuff you can do, to help your finances. In these days and times, you need several streams of income, right? Your main job as well as a side hustle and selling something else on the side. Do what you got to do. That's what I did. I did a few different things to bring in money and to keep income coming in more than expenses, that was going out. So that's just a tip for you on the financial end. Make sure you take care of your financial health, because look, that will give you some peace. It ain't nothing like your money acting funny. But when you get your money in order, it's a good feeling, right? You dating, you going out, and you ain't got to worry about gas money or worry about, buying this meal or going to this place. Especially fellas, listen, take care of your finances. Get your financial house in order so that when you date, you can date healthily. All right? And so that's the first one, finances. Now, the second area that I think is very important to take care of is your physical health. The physical part of who we are. I think you ought to be the best self that you can be for your partner. Be your best self. Now, that could mean a number of things physically. Taking care of your weight, working out, looking good. If you look good, you feel good. And so I'm telling you, that is an area that you want to take care of, both men and women. You want to be healthy. Again, there are some things that you can't help. There are some things that's going to happen. But if you can take care of your physical health to the best of your ability and do your part, you will feel a whole lot better. Imagine looking in the mirror. Imagine putting on clothes and feeling good. Looking good for your partner. You want to be able to please your partner and make each other happy every step of the way. And so work out, exercise, get active, go out and do things. And that is even a great part of the dating process, is going out and doing things, being physical, doing different activities, right? You don't want to do the same old thing with your partner, just going out to eat or sitting at home. Most people want to go and do things, explore, see the world, be active. And you can do a number of things dating-wise, right? Kayaking, hiking, biking. There is so much you can do. But if you're not in good health and shape, it'll be hard to do some of these things. Now, we're not saying you need to be an athlete. We're not saying that you got to be the strong man on the earth, benching 500 pounds and squatting 300. We're not saying that. But exercise, get active, move, and make sure your health is in order. Do a health check. It's not only the external, but the internal. Take care of the inside of you. Any health issues that you may have, check it out. And make sure you nip it in the bud or get on a path of being healthy. This is so important so that you can enjoy your partner and your partner can enjoy you. Imagine being handicapped by, your physical capabilities. Again, some people can't help it. Some people have issues that's beyond their control. But if you can do better, then you should do better. If you can take care of yourself, if you can improve your health reasonably, then I think you should. That is an area that you should also look at taking care of, your physical health. Because when you get married, a part of marriage is sex, pleasing your partner. And you want to be able to perform. You want to be able to take care of each other. Yeah, that's an area and that's important. And guess what? That's also one of those areas that cause a lot of breakups and tension. And so you want to be the best that you can be. You don't want to be breathing heavy. You don't want to be at a shortage of breath if you take 10 steps, right? No, you want to be your best self for your partner. So take care of yourself physically. And that's not just working out, that's nutrition-wise. Eat the best you can be, improve your nutrition. Look, I love me a good meal. I'm a foodie, right? I love to eat. So I understand the pain. That's why I try to work out to combat it. And I need to do more, but still do something. Don't just do nothing at all. And make small improvements. Take small steps and watch how your life changes. Your confidence will grow. And with that, other areas of your life as well. I'm telling you, man, if you look good, you'll feel good. If you feel good, you will act good and it will show up in your life. So take care of yourself physically, try to get yourself healthy, go to the doctor, do your, and a part of that is also hygiene. Take care of your hygiene. Make sure your hygiene is on point. Groom yourself, and I know this goes without saying. Some people think, well, that's a given as adults or people who are mature. You shouldn't have to say that, but It needs to be said, and so, these areas you should look to improve on and be the best in these areas: grooming, hygiene, your physical health, your internal bodily health. Try your best to make sure those areas are taken care of so that you can be your best self for anybody you date, anybody you come across, and they'll even notice the difference as well. Now, that's the second thing. First is finances. Second is physical. The third thing, emotional. This is another area that is a key area of who we are as people, our emotions. We all have emotions. We all have feelings. And you want to take care of your emotional health as best you can. You want to be healthy. You want to make sure you don't have any baggage or anything to bring into another relationship or even dating. Have you ever gone out with somebody, been on a date, had a conversation, and all they can talk about is their ex or the hurt from the past? That's a sign that they never got over their past. They never got over the experiences that they've been through. Granted, if you've gone through something that was a bad experience, you want to make sure it doesn't happen again. And so you may bring it up to talk about it with someone you're dating or getting serious with so that they know, that's an area that you don't want to revisit. I understand that. But then there are instances where you may be out on a date with someone or getting to know somebody and they're just dumping a whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of garbage, a whole bunch of issues, whole bunch of emotions from the past. That's not a healthy situation. You want to take care of that before you start dating. You want to kind of make sure that your emotions are healthy and balanced and in check so that you can give this other person, a new person, the best part of you. Don't punish somebody else for what someone else has done. If you're not emotionally healed, if you haven't dealt with certain areas of your past marriages, past relationships, whatever it is, then you will make somebody else pay for the mistakes that someone else did. And so you want to be careful that you take care of your emotional state. Make sure you're healed. How can you do that? There's a number of ways. Spiritually, right? Prayer, meditation, the Word of God. Those are my favorites. Counseling, talking to somebody, a therapist, someone certified, someone trained. Also, a pastor, a friend, a family member. So make sure, you get the help that you need. Work through some of these issues so that you can be healed and ready, so that when the next opportunity comes, when you're dating somebody, you're ready to dive in. You're ready to say, hey, here I am, ready to give it another shot. Don't make someone else pay for the mistake that somebody else did. I want you to remember that. And so we have to take care of our emotional state and being. That also means, coming to reality with the decisions that we've made, the choices that you have made, the people that you have picked. Because sometimes we don't want to be honest with ourselves. We've caused ourselves emotional hurt and strain because of the decisions that we have made in the past. You chose that person before. You chose that woman. You chose that man. You decided to go through with it for 5 years instead of cutting it off at 2 or 1. When you saw the first signs, the first red flags, you did. And so sometimes we have to look in the mirror. And when we start to look in the mirror, when we start to take personal responsibility for the decisions that we made, for the people that we dated, married, etc., then we can really begin the road of true healing and emotional well-being. So be honest, take responsibility so that you don't repeat the mistakes of the past. What is the famous definition of insanity? Trying the same thing over and over again, expecting, a different result. Right? If you want something different, you got to try something different. So look at yourself. Look at the choices that you made in the past. Tweak some things, change some things, and heal emotionally. That's the third one. The first one, finances. The second, physical health. The third, emotional well-being, emotional health. Now, what's the fourth one? The fourth area that I think that is very helpful, in your stage of being single and preparing yourself while you're single, is mental health. Now, this in many ways is tied to emotional health. You want your mental health to be healthy and strong. The way you think, your perspective, your outlook. Because how you see the world, how you see everyone else is a reflection of even how you see yourself. The Bible says, so does a man think, so is he. How you think is how you will be. Our actions start in the mind. We think about it before we do it. Even if you're not cognizant of it, somehow your mind subconsciously will think about it, and then your body moves and acts on your thoughts or what you're thinking. The brain tells your hand, legs what to do, essentially, right? And so it starts in the mind. It starts with your way of thinking. And so your mental health is very important. Read. Try some new things. Learn some new things. Continue learning and educating yourself. There are ways that you can help your mind and your mental capacity by learning, by trying new things, try new activities. Try going to new places, try new experiences to help develop and strengthen your mind. And so these are some things that you can do to help your mental capacity. Your mind is like a muscle. You got to exercise it, right? That's why people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease and different things, doctors and neurologists, caretakers try to help them to exercise the mind, so that the mind could help itself as much as possible or repair itself if it can. Also, helping to be active and to do things and to learn could also help to stave off certain mental illnesses and diseases. So the mind is very important. Your mental health is crucial, even in dating. You want to make sure you're mentally healthy. And you will notice that all of these areas combined together will bring a holistic approach to being prepared and healthy for dating, because they all go together. They all complement each other. And it's important to have each one of these. And so the mental health is important. Don't stop learning. Don't stop exploring. And guess what? Bring that into your relationship. That you're learning new things. And with your partner, with the person that you're dating and courting, you could learn together, learn with them. You could try new foods. You could go to new places, even if it's local daycations, staycations, right? In a town that's maybe an hour away, that's an old historic place that you explore and learn. It will help your mental capacity as well as your emotional health. And then if you're doing something physical in that place, you're helping the physical. You see? So it starts in the mind. So while you're protecting your heart and working on your emotions and what you've gone through in the past, don't forget to also work on your mind and your mental capacity. All right. So number 5, the last one, the last area that I think as singles you should focus on and make sure you work on in this stage of your life, your spiritual health, your spirituality. That is very important. That is the last one. Spiritually, where are you? Do you meditate? Do you read the Word of God? Do you pray? Are you part of a church or a ministry? I think these are important, that you develop your spiritual health while you're working on your finances, while you are working on your physical well-being, while you're working on your emotional state, while you're working on your mental health. Don't forget the spiritual part of who you are. We are spirit as human beings. We have a soul. There's an internal part of who we are. And it's important that you develop and shape that. It's important that that area of your life is not starved, that you grow it, because we all have a yearning for a life that is greater or something beyond. We all have purpose on the inside of us. And so we need to chase that purpose, develop that purpose. We need to make sure we don't ignore that part of who we are. And so make sure you're also spiritually healthy and in a good place. I'm not saying that you have to become some great missionary, some great bishop or theologian or anything of that nature. But make sure that your life is lived with purpose. God has a plan and a purpose for everybody, I believe. And I believe that those of you who are watching, God has a plan and a purpose for you, no matter what stage of your life you find yourself in. And if you address this part of you and not ignore it, but grow it, develop it in a healthy way, then I think you'll find yourself being more whole and more complete for dating and marriage. And so it's important for you to find yourself in a place surrounded by others who also help your spiritual development. And so that's the fifth thing. If you want to be as whole and healthy in this season of being single, work on your finances. Work on your emotional well-being. Work on your physical health. Also, work on your mental health. And don't neglect your spirit. Make sure your spiritual health is also being worked on. Man, thank you so much for joining me. These are just some of the areas that I think are very crucial to making sure you're ready for when you meet the person that God has for you. Don't give in, don't give up, and don't lose hope. I'm telling you, what you're looking for, what you're praying for, desiring or hoping for is right around the corner. If you stay the course, if you stay the race, I believe that God has everything you need coming right to you. So work on these areas, grow in these areas, keep yourself not just busy, but purposely productive. While you are waiting, while you're pursuing, and while you're building. Build yourself up, because if two people come together in one union, as whole as they can be, as built up as they can be, as healthy as they can be, imagine how dynamic, how wonderful, and how great they'll be together. Don't desire what you're not willing to become or do. Don't want someone whole if you're not willing to become whole yourself. Don't want someone financially healthy if you are not willing to be financially healthy. Don't want someone who's healed emotionally, who doesn't have baggage, or who hasn't dealt with their baggage if you haven't dealt with yours. Be what you want. Do what you desire. And you have to do the work. Nobody can do the work for you. You're going to have to do the work yourself. And when you do the work, you'll find that it'll reap wonderful rewards and benefits. That's all I got for you this time. Don't forget, check me out next time. We're going to come on back with some more for you. But thank you for joining me and talking about these 5 areas that you can prepare and work on while being single.